One of the most beautiful places you may ever see is just around the corner. It's Beaman Park Nature Center. Good morning. I'm Anna Marie De La Vega, and we have the director of Beaman Park Nature Center, Heather Gallagher, to tell us more about it. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me, even though I'm the one that messaged you this time.
I know. I love that. Hey, you want to talk about spring? I'm like, yes. Yes. Okay, so spring at Beaman Park. What does that mean?
Okay, so we've all been stuck inside, whether it's from the 50-degree weather and the rain or, let's not say it, the snow and the ice.
Yeah.
But we've been stuck inside, and so this is a wonderful opportunity for Beaman staff to start thinking about what's going to go on, not only at the Nature Center, but also in the park in March, April, and May.
Okay. And you're just thinking about it, or you got some stuff planned?
Oh, we have so much stuff planned.
I knew it.
And everything is already on our website, which is nashville.gov /calendar. You can see everything that Beaman Park has planned, from yoga on the deck to some 12-mile hikes to, hey, let's just go outside and see what is going on in spring in the park.
Do you lead tours or hikes, or don't you have a lot of opportunities for people to get out who don't know what they're looking at and show them what they're looking at?
Okay, we've got two ways of answering that question. So first of all, I am at the Nature Center. So you come to the Nature Center and you want to go for a hike. I've got a big giant map, and I can show you, make recommendations of, based on how far you want to go or how long you want to go for a hike, what are your goals for your hike? I can make some recommendations.
Good.
We have a 3.2-mile hike. We call it the Lollipop. That's a piece of cake. We have a 7.5. We have a 12.5, which is really just a long walk in the woods. Or if you want to start from the Nature Center and do all of that, it's just over 15 miles.
Yeah.
Now, that's doing things on your own, which you and your husband and your brother like to do on a regular basis.
Yes, we love it so much.
And
yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Going out in the woods and just getting lost by yourself, figuratively, of course, is really just a lot of fun. Now, the other thing I believe that you're asking about is kind of our guided hikes, or, hey, let's just go and see what we can find. And we have so many of those this spring, starting with just basic hikes that we offer for families. You know, let's get a wildflower sheet and go find all the wildflowers on this bingo sheet, or all of these colors of spring, or all of the green things that are still in winter, because you got to remember, it's still winter until the spring equinox in the middle of the month.
Okay.
Which is scary. Some of the biggest snows in Nashville have taken place in March.
I know.
I take it back. So, but we can go to the other end of that spectrum. For example, today I'm leading a hike with Tennessee Wild Ones, the Middle Tennessee chapter, and we're looking for early spring wildflowers. Yes, even in February, the forest is literally screaming with mustards that are blooming, hepatica, which is a kind of buttercup, and early saxifrage, which is a flower that's going to bloom directly on the rock faces.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, your hibiscus is not blooming yet.
Yes.
But it's going to. It's going to. I think I sent you a picture last year in June.
Yes.
When it was in full bloom.
And the hydrangea.
Excuse me, where did I get hibiscus from?
See, that's what I was thinking. So you couldn't even begin to name all the flowers and the plants that are at Beaman Park.
Actually, I can.
I
have a wildflower inventory that began back in the mid-1990s by a Vanderbilt professor of botany, and he started a comprehensive list by family of all of the wildflowers. And the most exciting thing about this list of wildflowers and trees and snakes and whatever is that they're always out of date, because we have research projects going on, as well as a community that's so interested in the living things at Beaman Park, that those lists are always out of date.
Oh, my goodness.
Somebody's always finding something new.
Wow. And the cool thing is that we can now take pictures. We can now photograph things and have visual representation instead of going, it was about this long and it had green and purple on it. I mean, that is just in the past few years where everybody has that opportunity to add to the list.
That is right. So there's two different ways that you can add to the list, as well as increase your knowledge base. So both of those are through iNaturalist.
Oh.
And I really recommend that you check out iNaturalist, INATURALIST.org. And iNaturalist is a website that is completely devoted to inventorying all of the living things in the world, not just the United States.
Whoa.
You take a picture of something, and then based on the knowledge of naturalists in your area, you can name it. Now, I really don't recommend that all of the time because I really think you and I enjoy just looking at a flower or looking at a bird and just saying, wow, my God is an awesome God.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So sometimes, it's just nice to say that. But for inventorying purposes for the Nature Center, it is so important to be contributing to this as well as to just learn the names of stuff. Yeah. It's fun. Another app that you can get on your phone is called Seek, SEEK, and that is run by iNaturalist, and that will also name things for you. Now, I just want to be straight up. This is using AI technology, and so it's not always accurate, and sometimes is really, really funny. But you just need to use common sense when you're using something like that.
Yes.
Use all of the tools that you have available. I want you to know at the Nature Center, we do have some awesome field guides that you can check out for your time at the park for free. And no, I don't keep your license or anything like that. Just return the book when you're done with it.
Oh, you could take it with you on the... Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. That's provided by Friends of Beaman Park. And we have reptiles and amphibians and trees and wildflowers of Tennessee. All of these are available at the Nature Center.
Well, I was going to the Nature Center and looking at them and trying to remember as I took the hike. Okay, I'm going to write Friends of Beaman Park down here, too, so we can talk about that later on. Because
Absolutely.
We need to know how to make that happen. And so we were talking about the different ways you can hike and explore by yourself or with the guided hikes. What else is going on this time of year with the fact in mind that it still could get cold again? What else do we have, though?
So Beaman Park Nature Center partners with a newer division in Metro Parks called Outdoor Nashville. That's Krista Allen. And Krista Allen leads outdoor recreation programs all over Davidson County.
Oh, wow.
That's KRISTAALLEN. And I do recommend having her on. She has our personality, and I think that you would enjoy speaking with her. So Krista is leading everything from canoeing and kayaking to rock climbing to knot tying, and she really likes to focus especially on getting women outside, whether it's for hiking or camping, and giving them the confidence and the tools to get out there and have a positive experience.
I love that.
I know, me too.
I'm into the knot tying, and I watch it on the little videos online and then try and find the camping skills. Like, I could do this and stay alive if I needed to. I love that there's a person teaching us this. Okay, so that's Outdoor Nashville. I will be investigating that later on. When we go on these walks, when we go take a hike at Beaman Park, what kind of wildlife are there and awake this time of year?
Okay. So
her eyes just glow when I ask questions like this.
Some of my favorite footage that was taken in the park are by our trail cams in the backcountry of Beaman Park. And please remember that Beaman Park, located within Davidson County, is 2,370 acres. So we have this amazing backcountry that represents the Nashville Western Highland Rim forest habitat. So we have trail cams out there, and the trail cams have caught footage of coyotes playing in the snow. This is all on YouTube, by the way, on the Nature Center YouTube channel. Bobcats, deer, a great blue heron, all kinds of animals that even though you and I are like snuggling up watching Big Bang Theory, these guys are out there and they're active. They're foraging for food. They are predating other animals in the park. They are active.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a YouTube channel. Every time you come to talk to us, I learn something new that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get home and check this out.
And it's set to music.
And so you've seen what did you say, bobcats? I was looking at a whole list. There was a list somewhere that mentioned deer, bobcats, foxes, of course, reptiles and amphibians and things like that. So and you said coyotes, all kinds of wildlife. And how many acres?
2,370.
How much is accessible through Beaman Park for us to hike? It's not nearly, we're not just even the tip of the iceberg on that.
We're not even the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
And that really has to do with the terrain of that western Highland Rim forest. You have these deep, deep hollows, which you are familiar with when you hike down to that bridge.
Yes.
And then we have these amazing ridge tops. So think about having that accessible by trail. And you're really going to have to get out on that 7.5 mile hike, which we call the shortcut, or the 12.5 mile. A lot of people right now are referring to that as the lime loop.
Why the lime loop?
The trailblazes are green.
Oh, the lime?
Lime, L-I-M-E.
Lime loop. I thought you said line. Okay, the lime loop. Okay, good.
It's the East Tennessee accent.
And I like the fact that you do have the markers. Would you explain the markers to people who are thinking about going and have not taken a hike out there yet?
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you asked about that. Because of the ice storm, Beaman Park never closed. We didn't have a lot of the damage that other parks had in our park. And so we've got a lot of people coming out that have never been in Beaman Park. So this is the perfect opportunity to share ways for you to stay found within Beaman Park. So one way is the map. So we do have a hiking trail map that is available as soon as you get out of your car in the parking lot.
Okay.
Number 2 way, every half mile, there is a medallion located to your right on a tree. Those medallions have pins dropped at them. So if you call me and say, hey, I'm located at the 10.5 on the Laurel Woods Trail, I can tell exactly where you are.
Wow.
Finally, there are other points throughout, especially that 12.5 mile loop, that have pins dropped. And if you don't know what a pin is, that is using GPS systems to denote a specific place.
Okay.
That information can be shared with emergency services as necessary. Or if you just kind of got turned around, call the Nature Center.
Yeah.
You're sharing it with me, and I can help you get turned back around.
So it's kind of like putting a pin on a map. We're like, it's right here.
Exactly.
I'm right here. This little pin right here.
Exactly.
And I'm lost. I think I'm lost. And I think I saw a bobcat. Okay. Anything else that we need to know about not getting lost and things like that? Because so what if we get out on the trail, we go, okay, this is harder than I thought. Just like sit down and rest a little bit, or let you guys know, okay, we're out here, we're at this medallion, this half mile mark or whatever.
What I would do is really just check out our website before you get started, because our website is pretty thorough about Beaman being a primitive park with rugged trails. We do have at least moderate trails in the park.
Yes.
With a little bit of incline. So be prepared before you get out there.
Yeah.
And if you're not quite sure, oh my goodness, we have 3 accessible trails in the park. So that's a great way for you to see exactly what the terrain is. And oh my goodness, why don't you scout it out ahead of time? That's what you did. Come sit on the back porch in a rocking chair.
Oh my
and
gosh.
hang out for a little bit and kind of get the lay of the land before you actually decide to come out.
Yeah.
Furthermore, there is a short 2-mile loop. You've done it many times, the Henry Hollow Loop.
Yes.
And you kind of get a taste of this is what the rest of the park is going to be like. Be
True.
prepared before you come.
And the Henry Hollow, is that the one where you can walk out into the water? Is that the right? Am I thinking about the right one? Well, there's one trail where there's a little down where you can walk down and
the
get
arch.
in.
Yes.
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 Oh my gosh.
So that's located at 4111 Little Marrowbone Road in Jolton. And I know when you hear this, you think, I'm not in Davidson County anymore. I'm not in Nashville. Trust me, you are. This is a really great place to come and check out Beaman Park, because these creeks carved these amazing hollows over lots and lots of years.
Yeah.
And to put your feet in that water this summer or this spring when we have these warm days, it just is invigorating.
it's amazing to see families down there too with kids and like, look, I see a blah blah blah, and they're laughing, and the parents are there, kind of just guiding them and with them, and it's such a fun family thing to do as well.
Agreed. And we, as we do every single summer, we will be facilitating that again. This year, we have 4 amazing college students hired that will be in the creek every Saturday, 10 to 12, facilitating, looking at crawdads and damselflies and salamanders and fish right in the creek, which is going to reflect the health of Henry Creek in Beaman Park.
Can you go back and tell me, like, where did the names come from? Can you kind of give me a little bit more of the history and the names?
Absolutely. So let's start with the big picture.
Okay.
Back in the mid-1990s, a man named Bob Brown, along with community members from Jolton, was celebrating the wonder of the Blueberry Hill Partners land. It was hunting property for a bunch of Vanderbilt doctors, and they were going to put the land up for sale. And Bob Brown and Bob Crawl and some other community members got together and said, we really need to save this property. Again, it's part of Nashville's Western Highland Rim Forest. It's a very unique ecosystem with these plants that you and I have already discussed, in addition to orchids and irises and all of these wonderful things that you and I have to go to the Cumberland Plateau to see.
Oh.
Lee Beaman and other members of his family saw the article in the Tennessean that Ann Payne wrote about Bob Brown and trouble in the creek, and celebrating how beautiful it was. And they said, this property needs to be preserved.
Whoa.
And so the Beaman family donated monies to Metro Parks for this property. At that time, it was 1,500 acres to be purchased. And it was. Beaman Park was open to the public in 2003 with the Creekside and Trailhead entrances to the park being open to the public.
Okay.
Since then, other properties have been added. But let's go back to Henry Creek. The Henry family lived in the Jolton area back when it was the Wild Wild West.
Oh, wow.
In the early 1900s, and that's why Henry Creek, right off of Little Marrowbone Road, is denoted Henry Creek.
Okay.
The Laurel Woods Trail, or the Lime Loop, is called Laurel Woods Trail because, yes, there is mountain laurel and azaleas that will be blooming along that trail in late April.
Oh, I'm making notes of that right now. Late April. But when are the best times to go to Beaman Park? Pardon me, before you answer that, if you're just joining us, this enthusiastic lady who's getting my enthusiasm up as well is her name is Heather Gallagher. She's the director of Beaman Park Nature Center, and we're talking about Beaman Park and the Nature Center and all the things that are going on in spring specifically. So what are the best times? Spring probably, of course, one of them.
Today. Today is the best day because it's not just spring and being in the middle of this amazing forest party of color and birds singing and the trees leafing out. It's not just that. It's leading up to that. So right now we have the tulip poplar, which is our Tennessee state trees. The tree buds are swollen. The tree buds look like praying hands, and they're swollen because they're getting ready to pop.
Wow.
The hickory tree buds are swollen, and they're getting ready to pop. There's mustard. And by the way, mustard does not have to be yellow.
Yes, I didn't know that.
The mustard that's fixing to bloom right now is called purple cress. And we did see a couple of plants blooming yesterday, but it's just a little teeny tiny flower, and it's getting ready to bloom right now, and that is heralding spring. Oh, speaking of which, Salt and Pepper, which is one of our favorite groups from the mid-1990s, right?
Yeah.
What a man, what a man. So Salt and Pepper, another name for that is harbinger of spring. I mean, isn't that just sounding wonderful?
Yeah.
It's getting ready to bloom any day now, and that is something else that's telling us that spring is coming. Now, by the time this airs, I think the thing that's really going to be happening at Beaman Park is a bird called the Louisiana water thrush.
Okay.
Now, you might say, who cares? But the Louisiana water thrush spends its winter in Central and South America, and then returns. Oh, I get chills. St. Patrick's Day every single year without fail to the exact same spot of the creek. Last year, we had a research project about the Louisiana water thrush through the Tennessee Naturalist Program, just to see how many mating pairs did we have, how many territories did we have along Henry Creek. This is a creek that you hike, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a little bird about the size of our wren that is walking through the creek and eating macroinvertebrates out of the creek. It nests right in the side of the creek bank.
Whoa.
We had 5 territories. This little bird is going to come back to Beaman Park, the exact same place, every single year. He's going to say, tree, 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 tree to wit. And then we know that spring is here.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, what is the territory? That's where a nesting couple is?
And not just where they are, not just where the nest is with the babies, but also what area is he defending, because that's where he can find his elements of habitat, his food, water, shelter, space, and air. So 5 of those going down Henry Creek. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
And the trail at Beaman Park that's following Henry Creek is what? Half a mile?
It's not very long. Yeah.
It's not very long from the parking lot that you're talking about all the way down to the big aluminum bridge.
Yes. It's lovely. Yeah, there's so much to see. Just that short walk, because a lot of times as my husband and I are thinking we're going to go for a walk, we're like, well, we haven't lately. Let's do something easy, but also so we can just stop and enjoy and just look and just breathe. And then now we know, like on St. Patrick's Day, that's when the thrush comes back. Have you noticed any differences in, as we have climate changes and things like that? Are the animals reacting differently or returning at different times or anything like that? Have you noticed anything?
The biggest thing that we've noticed is not only with the Louisiana water thrush, because we know this is the time that this bird typically historically returns, but also some other wildflowers such as hepatica that we historically watch. Sandy Bivens back in the late 1990s did what she called the hepatica hunt. Hepatica is a buttercup that blooms along Henry Creek, typically around St. Patrick's Day. The pattern now is there is no pattern. We've seen hepatica blooming as early as late January and as late as April. This year, the hepatica hasn't bloomed yet, so perhaps like last year, and that would be 2025, we will be on schedule, if you want to call it that, for blooming St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Okay.
But the most important thing is to use these apps such as iNaturalist, such as Seek, so that this can be documented not only for us, because that's what we tend to do when we're out on a hike is I'm doing this for me. Yeah. But this information can be used by college students, by grad students for the bigger picture.
Adding to that body of knowledge.
There you go.
What is the mission of Beaman Park and Beaman Park Nature Center? What is the mission? Because I know all of these things that you're telling me about, these are all educational. They're like to help you learn and to help others learn. What is the mission?
Thank you so much for asking that question. So Beaman Park is part of Metro Parks Nashville, of course, Parks and Recreation. So we're not just about education. You got to have fun while you're outside.
Yeah.
So we are part of a 4 nature center system: Warner Park Nature Center, Bells Bend Outdoor Center, and Shelby Park Nature Center, Beaman Park Nature Center, and also in our division is Fort Negley Visitors Center over at Fort Negley Park.
Okay.
So all of our mission together in our division is recreation, education, and preservation.
Oh, yes, because we're going to have fun. We're going to go more. We're going to learn more, and then we will want to preserve it.
You got it.
Oh, that's lovely. All right, well, what else do we need to talk about? We're almost out of time. It just flies by. We're talking with Heather Gallagher, the director of Beaman Park Nature Center. What else do we want to make sure and mention?
We want to make sure and mention Friends of Beaman Park.
Yes.
Friends of Beaman Park is responsible for the preservation of this 2,300 acre, not to mention the original 1,500 acre. Without the community coming together, we wouldn't have this amazing Highland Rim forest, which is part of one of the largest urban forests in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's very exciting. I will give you some contact information for some other people you can talk to.
Good, thank you.
So Friends of Beaman Park has the same mission that we have as Metro Parks and Recreation. They can do a lot of things to support the Nature Center that the government is not able to do. And so our president, Emily Fauché, as well as our treasurer, Craig Plattner, work closely with the community to support what we have going on at the Nature Center.
And things like what can they do that the government is not able to do? Is it that they raise funds over here, or what do they do? Like physically get out there, get volunteers, or?
All of the above.
Oh.
All of the above. So, for example, right now we are hosting the Tennessee Naturalist Program at Beaman Park, and Friends of Beaman Park can serve as the conduit not only for those funds that are raised by the Tennessee Naturalist Program, but also volunteer opportunities for people who are needing volunteer hours through the program. Friends of Beaman Park has also been out on the trail in the last 4 weeks, clearing Henry Hollow Loop, the Laurel Woods Trail, and other trails within Beaman Park so that people are able to get out. I think that's the biggest thing that people needed after the ice storm is to be able, number one, to get back to their routine. We all need that.
Yeah.
But number two, a way to give back.
Yes.
And we've had lots of volunteers come out with loppers and pruners and clear the trails for us. And that's only possible through Friends of Beaman Park.
That's the kind of thing I think I personally would like to get involved with, because as a gardener, I love seeing the difference that you can make with the loppers and the pruners and the mulch, and it's like, whoo, it's beautiful, and it's ready for somebody else to either look at or to walk out on and be safe. I like that thought. What else can we do to support Beaman Park and Beaman Park Nature Center?
First of all, getting out in the park is one of the most wonderful things, because in supporting yourself, you're supporting the park itself. By celebrating the beauty of spring, by celebrating the end of winter, you are out in the park and you're celebrating what we have going on, and also being a positive presence in the park. That's one of the most important things that you can do for us. There are basic things that we all can do. The easiest being, besides getting out, let us know what's going on. If you see something, say something. You can do that in many different ways through Hub Nashville portal, but you can also just call the Nature Center directly at 615-862-8580 or message us through Instagram or Facebook and let us know what we can do to make your experience at Beaman Park better. Come to our programs. Increase your own personal connection to the park by coming to our programs.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think it's kind of obvious, become a member of Friends of Beaman Park. Right now, it's $15 to become a member.
Wow.
Serve on our board. There's lots of stuff going on with Friends of Beaman Park, and we welcome people to become a part.
Okay, and as we wrap up, we're talking to Heather Gallagher, the director of Beaman Park Nature Center. When is the best time to go to Beaman Park?
Today.
Thank you, Heather. We're going to put some links and more information on our Focus Facebook page. Please make sure you join us again next week. I'm Anna Marie, and that's Focus.